Nerd Box.
Welcome to another episode of the Popcorn Confessional, where my wife and I invite you along to movie night. And it seems to be a little bit more than once a week this time around.
Yeah, with all the theaters opening back up.
And on this episode, what we are going to review is Those Who Wish Me Dead. So fire up the Jiffy Pop and meet us in the booth.
So, Those Who Wish Me Dead. The third film, directed by Taylor Sheridan, stars Angelina Jolie as Hannah, Jon Bernthal as Ethan, Jake Weber as Owen, and Finn Little as Connor. Owen is a forensic accountant for the DA and goes on the run with his son Connor from the Blackwells, assassins who've been hired to kill them.
They are heading to a survivalist camp where Owen's brother-in-law Ethan lives. It's not too long after that, though, that the Blackwells catch up with them. And they gun them down, causing Owen to drive off of an embankment and over a cliff down into trenches. Connor, with strict instructions from his father, sets out to find a person who he can trust so that he can tell his father's secrets to the media.
So, Connor crosses paths with a smoke jumper, Hannah, Angelina Jolie, who's been ordered to work in the fire watchtower deep in the woods because of her risky behavior while trying to move past a previous forest fire that she'd fought. Hannah manages to convince Connor to go back to the watchtower with her, but meanwhile, the Blackwells have realized that Connor has survived the car crash and shooting and set fire to the woods to lay down a cover for them while they kill any witnesses.
As night falls on Park County, Montana, the Blackwells find the tower, forcing Hannah and Connor to choose which is a greater threat. Fight the fire or stay and fight the Blackwell. What did you think of the movie?
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
No.
Wow. Okay.
I didn't like it.
Nothing like being forward. Jeez. No suspense. I didn't like it.
So I like Jake Weber, who plays Owen. He actually was in the remake of Night of the Living Dead.
Okay.
Or Dawn of the Dead, sorry. He was in Dawn of the Dead.
No.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
I'm thinking of the guy from 28 Weeks Later who's an absolute douchebag, the father.
Yeah, that's not him.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
They sort of look alike, but never mind.
So he's in Dawn of the Dead. I really like him. Jon Bernthal. Everyone who's watching this should know that he played Shane in The Walking Dead. If you don't know that, get off our page. Because shame on you. I love him. We've met him, and he's a fantastic person. He plays a psycho really well. I think it was just the movie in general. First of all, I think it was very rushed, and the storyline was so jumbled. I just don't think that they gave you enough information on the story for you to really understand it. There was a lot of flashbacks to try to explain, well, not flashbacks so much, pictures, to try to explain what happened in the storyline, but it becomes very confusing. There was just too much going on in not enough time. The movie was barely an hour and a half long. And Zack Snyder made a zombie movie that was over 2 hours. And this was a drama, and it was barely an hour and a half. And the acting was subpar.
Yeah, so the acting was kind of subpar. So what you would expect from Jon Bernthal now, kind of really far below what you would get in a film.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say that Angelina Jolie, there was glimpses of why we loved her as an actress. I'm talking about movies like The Bone Collector, Gia, and what was the other one? Girls Interrupted.
Girl Interrupted, yeah.
Very small glimpses of that type of actress
Mm-hmm.
came out in this film when she was interacting with the Connor in the movie.
With Connor, yeah.
Before she blew up and became famous, and they threw in Lara Croft Tomb Raider and Salt, which I like Salt, and all these other movies that they just...
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, going after the sex appeal. But in this film, small glimpses of the actress, I think, kind of came out.
Not enough of it.
Not enough of it. It's almost like I want to welcome back that part of Angelina Jolie. We just don't get to see enough of it because she's kind of like, hey, we're going to book you on your looks rather than your talent.
Yeah. So the parts of that we did see in the film were really well. They worked well. She was good.
Not consistent.
Not consistent, though, because, like, in some parts, like, she was, like, really spot on, and it was great, but then in other parts, it was like, what the fuck happened?
The story development was very subpar, and I think it's subpar to the character development, right? They didn't really develop the characters in this movie.
No.
They just kind of threw things at the screen to see what stuck.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we have the story about assassins chasing after this guy.
But why?
Exactly. But why?
Yes.
They don't really dive into that.
No.
They just get right into that.
No.
And it's like, hey, all right, how can we make this, a lot more intense? Let's throw lightning. Let's throw fire. Let's throw this. Let's throw all these obstacles at the characters and see how they work around it. That, to me, just doesn't work.
No. I mean, there was, like, a very small scene where Owen kind of explains to Connor what his job is, but it's not a really good explanation. I'm still not even sure what he really does as a forensic accountant, so...
If you watch this movie, let us know if you think he's crooked, if he's on the up and up. I just didn't get that from the film. Maybe it was because of the rum and the soda I drank during the film. I don't know, but I just didn't pick up on that. Now, for me, like, there were certain scenes where Connor delivered really well, and then there was other scenes where it's like, was this written for a character that was maybe 3, maybe 5 years younger than the actual person playing the role?
Yeah, there were some scenes where he seemed blatantly more immature than what his age would be.
Yeah, that's true. I can't argue that.
And I was really, really disappointed in Jon Bernthal's role. I just was. I don't know. I don't know what happened. It just really fell short.
Too much in too short of time.
Yes, definitely.
I don't know where they were trying to go with this film at all. What's your rating on this one?
Oh my god. So my rating's a D-.
Wow, that's really bad. You have to think about all the other films that we've kind of rated so far at D-.
Okay, so then I'll give it a D+.
I'm a little bit more comfortable with that because, like I said, I saw some glimpses of hope with Angelina Jolie and some, throwbacks to how good of an actress she was.
Yeah.
It's very small, but it's there.
Yeah.
Suspense, not so much. Music, not so much.
Yeah.
I can't really compare it to another movie out there.
No.
If I had to say something, those disaster films that we were seeing for a while that were just thrown out there. It's like, all right, let's throw this disaster movie like Day After Tomorrow and what was it, 2011 or 2012 or something like that.
2012.
Yeah, where they just threw out these movies. This kind of seemed like on that same type of scope. They just missed it. I'm going to go with a C-.
Nice.
There's a lot worse out there.
Well, but I think where we had the glimmer of hope with some of Angelina's scenes, we didn't get that with Jon Bernthal at all. His character was just terrible.
Yeah, they could have gave that to anybody.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, anyone could have played that role. It didn't matter who it was because there wasn't anything that stood out with Jon Bernthal playing that role that I would have said, yeah, that's the person who needs to play it. Anybody could have played it.
At the end of the day, if you have nothing else to do, and you're doing some chores around the house...
Throw it on.
You're not going to miss much by walking in and out of the room.
No, you won't. And honestly, I think I would have preferred it if a no-name had played Jon Bernthal's part. Because I probably wouldn't have cared as much about how much it sucked.
This, honestly... If it wasn't for these times, this could be one of those films where it kind of just like shoots Jon Bernthal in the foot for being in future movie roles.
Yeah.
And maybe help push Angelina Jolie back up into some, more normal roles than what we're used to seeing her. But she's got the Eternals coming out, so she's going to be stuck in that whole type of casting that she's been in for a while. I just want to see her act again, to be honest. But that's our review. On the next one, just to let you know, we're going to be reviewing Profile, which was made in 2017, 2018.
2018.
But it's just coming out now.
And we don't know why.
Yep. So until then, like, subscribe, share your comments with us, because we appreciate you watching these reviews. We want to engage with you. Let us know what you think. If you have time to see this movie in the theaters, go out and watch it. It's sort of worth seeing in the theaters if it's a buy one, get one free movie
or like
deal.
a discount day that maybe your theater does.
Or a movie pass.
Mm-hmm.
So go check it out. Support the theaters. Support these films so that we don't lose out on these great things. And until the next, see you later.
See ya.